For 6 months, an old woman in a faded blue cardigan and worn-out slippers came to St. Luke's Hospital every Tuesday at exactly 3 p.m. She never checked in at the front desk, never asked for directions. She just sat quietly in the far corner of the oncology waiting room, clutching a small thermos of homemade ginger tea and watching the clock with tired but steady eyes. Nurses assumed she was lost or confused. Visitors gave her a wide berth. Once, security even approached her until Dr. Michael Reyes, the chief of surgery, quietly intervened and said, "Let her stay. She belongs here." But one rainy Tuesday, a new volunteer named Lisa stopped her. "Ma'am," she said sharply, arms crossed, "visiting hours are over, and you're not wearing a visitor's badge. Do you even know where you are?" The woman looked up gently, her hands folded in her lap. "I'm waiting for my son. He works the late shift." Lisa let out a short laugh. "Right, and I'm the head surgeon. Look, if you're trying to sneak in for free coffee or just a warm place to sit, there's a shelter 3 blocks east." A few people nearby nodded in agreement. One man muttered to his wife, "She's been here for weeks. Probably doesn't even remember her own name." The old woman didn't raise her voice, didn't defend herself. She simply stood, smoothed her cardigan with trembling fingers, and walked out into the cold rain without looking back. But the next Tuesday, she returned, this time with her silver hair neatly combed, her slippers dry, and a quiet strength in her step. She walked past the front desk without hesitation and headed straight down the hallway toward the chief of surgery's office. Doctor Michael Reyes stepped out and froze mid-sentence. He rushed forward, took her hands in his, and said loudly enough for the entire waiting room to hear, "Mom, you came." Silence fell like snow. Turning to stunned staff, his voice thick with emotion, he said, "This woman raised me alone after my father died in a factory accident when I was 9. She worked nights cleaning these very floors so I could study by daylight. When I got into medical school, she sold her wedding ring, the only thing she had left from him, to buy my first set of textbooks." He paused, eyes glistening. "And for the past 6 months, she's been coming here every week, not because she's lost, but because I'm being treated for stage 2 lymphoma. And she refuses to let me face it alone." He looked directly at Lisa. "You told her she didn't belong? But this hospital stands on the backs of people like her. Quiet, humble, full of love no one sees." Lisa burst into tears. "I didn't know." Dr. Reyes nodded softly. "Now you do." That week, St. Luke's implemented a new policy. No visitor will be turned away based on appearance, clothing, or lack of badge. Lisa signed up for overnight volunteer shifts, not out of guilt, but because she finally understood. Sometimes the loneliest people are the ones sitting right in front of you at AS for his mother. She still comes every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Now, nurses bring her fresh tea in a real cup. Doctors stop to say hello. And no one ever questions why she's there, because the strongest kind of love doesn't announce itself. It just shows up and stays. Have you ever misjudged someone who is silently carrying a heavy burden? Share your story in the comments. Your words might be the reason someone feels seen, heard, and worthy, exactly as they are.